Alright, let's do this. This is IGN playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. I think a couple of journalists and YouTubers were I don't know, either given access or flown out to play this game. IGN has kind of been turning around because there is a meme that they just throw out 7, 8 out of 10s like it's they're fucking the Sharingan, the 7 out of 10 jutsu throwing at a game, and everyone's like, what the fuck? Now we're seeing a pattern. But information is information, and I think they give the best when it comes to information. Don't much care for their reviews. Let's give this a watch.
After spending several hours finally playing Assassin's Creed Shadows after multiple delays, the next entry keeps up with the satisfying action and traversal that the series is known for, but it also showcases a sharper eye for world building and giving its two protagonists their time in the spotlight. From my time sneaking through fortresses, taking in the sweeping vistas of the open world, and pulling off slick combat finishers, I got to see just how developer Ubisoft Quebec has improved its balancing act of satisfying action, RPG systems, and rewarding open-ended exploration in a captivating new setting that's been long overdue.
So off the bat, you'll have your, basic Ubisoft game, the open world, bland, probably vapid, nothing to really write home about. I mean, standard Ubisoft dribble that if you've seen it once, you've seen it a million times. There's not really much really else to say about this. I mean, I wish they would try to find a better formula to this. It's like, it's just kind of annoying having to deal with the same open world bullcrap that you had in other games, and now it's in this game and there's nothing you can do about it because, well, that's their brand, and that didn't used to be the Ubisoft brand. Ubisoft used to actually innovate with their games, try to push boundaries, but that Ubisoft is long gone. Hello, Ubis suck. Yeah, Ubis suck. Or you be playing another game. I'm gonna be very negative, and I maintain the idea that them making Yasuke the main character won't even be the top 50 issues Ubisoft will have. In fact, I feel like playing him would just be a better experience because, what made Valhalla interesting was the fact that it wasn't Assassin's Creed, which is weird. But, a lot of people like the game, so it's like, whatever. But it is odd that now you just expect a Ubisoft game, Assassin's Creed game, not to have anything to do with Assassin's Creed. It's like that's a very odd expectation that you have that you don't like. But in your soul that will be the case.
Since Assassin's Creed Origins in 2017, the series has stayed comfortably within the realm of the open-world RPG, offering an expanded scope and narrative decisions to alter the course of the story. While this shift has led to some growing pains for the franchise, it has gotten a better handle on the additional layers to gameplay without compromising the fantasy of being an ancient assassin. With Shadows, the latest
and again, just off the bat, you have a health bars, you have damage numbers. Like, these are just standardized things you see in games nowadays. Like, and obviously it's going to have the Assassin's Creed Odyssey effect where it will skill gate you. Like, why do games feel the need to just have this, you know, information overload? And obviously it's going to be something that's turned off, but you know this is something that is intrinsically baked in the game, so it is a fundamental mechanic that you will have to contend with. Like, long gone are the Assassin's Creeds where you get hit once and you're dead. You're bam bam dead, because the point is that you're an assassin. You know, you get in combat as sort of a last resort. That's not the point of the assassin, but now we've reached this level, this idea where, oh well, I guess, you know, you effectively, like, I guess they came to the conclusion that people just didn't really. It's like after Assassin's Creed Valhalla, they're like, okay, well, let's have that Nimue girl, like whoever she is, just to have the Assassin's Creed, you know, justify calling it the Assassin's Creed, but then have Yasuke, which is probably, if you play him, you'll get a better experience. I mean, it's just because people just, like, it's not that the formula is bad, it's that, I don't know, I guess people are just sick and fucking tired of it.
The fantasy of being an ancient assassin. With
I don't know. I mean, kicking them off the, like, you can tell, like, right there and there, they reused mechanics from previous games.
The latest attempt at an Assassin's Creed RPG shows that Ubisoft may have also cracked the code on the role-playing element with its two unique protagonists, something the series has struggled to present in a way that hasn't muddied the narrative waters.
Yasuke, it'll be quicker if I go.
Shadows sets its sights on a new mystery.
I mean, just having two dialogue options, and clearly that's going to be a decision to either play her or Yasuke. I mean, that's not anything new and innovative. It's like, well, yeah, you're gonna put that in a game. No shit. In a role-playing game, you can role-play. Oh, fuck me. Imagine my shock.
Deep within a revamped Animus program. In this new simulation, we focus on feudal-era Japan and the secret history of both Yasuke, an historical African slave who became a full-fledged samurai, and Naue, a female shinobi taking up the mantle of her father's legacy. The pair eventually...
And again, that's the problem, right? Like, historically, he wasn't a samurai. I mean, he was a curiosity. He was like Odo Nobunaga took him in because he was just curious about him and about his ways, but he was never a samurai. He was a bodyguard. And I feel like that would have made a better story if maybe he was the bodyguard, you know, on paper, but then he played a samurai. Just, you know, the samurai who's, they don't know who he is until the end of the game, and it's like, oh, it was been Yasuke this entire time. Dun dun dun. I mean, I feel like that would have been a more interesting story. That would have been creative. I mean, it would have justified why Yasuke didn't have a lot of text behind him historically, because historically he played a completely different character who we don't know. And that's what Assassin's Creed used to do, right? Like they're no, because you have all these like historical characters that they died mysteriously and you don't know how. So Assassin's Creed kind of tried to uh, branch those stories together in a way that was interesting and innovative and made you like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. Along with the sword play and the combat and all the things from Assassin's Creed. That's what it used to do. And that was a hell of a lot more interesting. Now, now you don't even know what the hell they're really trying to do.
Team up to navigate a radically changing 1500s Japan, rubbing shoulders with other historical allies such as Oda Nobunaga and Kuroda Kanbei, while taking down a shadowy cabal of warlords manipulating the country's attempt at unification from within.
It is possible you hold ulterior motives beyond reconstruction.
Damn! One of Kanbei's dogs. Kill them!
I spent most of my playtime exploring Harima Province, one of the early zones that featured a quest line involving an insidious plot to undermine the region's power structure. The world of Assassin's Creed Shadows is massive, but thankfully not to the ridiculous size of Valhalla. That said, plenty of opportunities were packed in this province, and the viewpoints to observe nearby points of interest helped steer me in the right direction. A general theme I found compelling was how Shadows emphasized harmonizing with the open world, a cultural element the developers wanted to highlight with the Japanese setting.
For all those we care about.
This theme also extends to the side activities and how the world changes over time with shifting seasons that alter the terrain.
Yeah, but I feel like that shouldn't really be something you're touting at. Like, that's things on the side. Like being able to pray at shrines. It's like, why do people play Assassin's Creed? Well, they like, the combat, the setting, all that. They're really trying to emphasize, oh, we're getting into the culture. And I guess now they have no choice but to do that because, well, they were caught terribly depicting the culture and of all the controversies that they're in now. So I get it, they're really trying to put it down pat. Look, we're trying to respect the culture. We really are. Like, please don't ream us over the coals again. We're trying to do this the right way this time. But it's like, why do people play Assassin's Creed? Well, clearly, you have the sword play, which is one aspect. You have the historical aspect. It's like, there's so many reasons why people enjoyed Assassin's Creed. And people just are, the consumer's just afraid that you're going to strip away half of those things just for mechanics and interaction that don't add anything to the game. Like, that's my fear. Above everything else, I just think it's going to dumb down the Assassin's Creed experience just so it can add things into the game that don't really add to the Assassin's Creed experience. It's just mechanics they add in because, I don't know. Because they're just wanting to bloat on content.
Shadows ditches the need for hunting, and instead, you can find and draw rare wildlife found in the wild. It was an odd activity at first, but I found them endearing and a relaxing change of pace.
You see what the fuck I mean? Like, what do you mean you can't hunt the creatures like you could in previous Assassin's Creeds? Why? Like, why take that mechanic out? And again, you know a lot about who's making the game based off what they add and what they take away. Like, they're taking away a mechanic, and you have to add, you gotta understand, every single mechanic in a game is triple, quadruple quintuple checked, that when they take something out, you have to ask the question, why? Why take out mechanics and then replace it with mechanics that don't add to the experience whatsoever? If anything, it takes away. Why add things to an Assassin's Creed game that does not add to Assassin's Creed? Well, I mean, I'll replace them for things that don't add to Assassin's Creed.
I soon found myself being taken in by how atmospheric and thoughtful the setting was.
That was worth the wait.
Shadows also emphasizes the dynamic between the two protagonists and their agency within the world after bonding over being outcasts within the country. I really enjoyed their dynamic within the story, and they play well with each other during cutscenes. Yasuke is a gentle giant and wise samurai enforcer who offers some poignant insights while learning about Japanese culture.
The rains will continue in a different form. Another battle, say more.
Naoe's growth into an assassin with a heavy legacy to uphold shows an early look at the dramatic highs of the main story. You're free to switch off characters in the open world and during moments in the main story, letting you play as who you want in most key missions.
I think most people are going to play Yasuke, but I mean, that's something interesting, you know, playing as different, but I think it's going to be, you're going to have the same loop, just with different characters and slightly different dialogue. That's what I think is going to happen. I mean, I could be wrong, but I mean, Ubisoft has not done anything to try to go against what I'm saying or go against, you know, the controversies. If anything, they just keep adding on to the controversies. You know, lazy fucking decisions they make. Just keep adding on.
You're right. Let's do it.
But in an interesting addition, you also have the option of playing in canon mode, which presents a defined story without major narrative choices, which was added after developers saw how many fans were debating what the definitive story was for Valhalla and Odyssey.
So it is you.
Yasuke and Naoe also represent the different extremes of Assassin's Creed's combat and stealth experiences, which have also seen clear upgrades across the board in Shadows.
I mean, that's not really combat. I mean, that's effectively like a takedown or a QTE. You know what happens whenever NPC is about to die, or if like you stealth kill. I mean, that's not they're good mechanics, but they're not really combat per se. I mean, they're good cinematically.
For combat, there's a heightened need for dodging and parrying strikes, crucial to piercing through armor to deliver a killing blow. It injects Ghost of Tsushima's offensive and defensive style of swordplay, but it also has familiar AC combat skills such as power grabs and the always funny kick move I used plenty of times.
I mean, that guy's kind of funny. But again, you see the health bar. I'm assuming the 28 is the level. I mean, is this just going to be any old, like, hack and slash type game that you've seen a million times? Where you have gear score and weapon rarity, and certain bosses are harder or easier depending on how many numbers you smack together on your character. And you're playing two characters, so one will have one type of gear, while another will have another type of gear. I mean, these are questions people are asking, because people just don't want another just a Ubisoft game. I mean, they want Assassin's Creed. You know, at least they want what it used to be, not what Abomination Assassin's Creed is today.
I generally felt pleased with the more thoughtful approach to combat. However, it also comes with more challenges, which unexpectedly made some of the encounters in the game feel a bit more difficult.
Bruh.
Our generation has a choice. Turn away.
Boop.
Shadows.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a skill issue, but I mean, to be fair, he wasn't like a narrow space, and you using your spatial awareness to take out an enemy. I mean, that would definitely be something to sort of, you know, expand upon. You know, to, I don't know, I guess, scope out the area to see, oh, as an assassin, it might be a little hot here, but if I use this area to my advantage, I could have a better idea on how to take the, I guess, the target down. I don't know if it'll have the same, like, targeting system as previous Assassin's Creed games, but running off that assumption that it does, I mean, I feel like that'd be something that's interesting. Again, the question is, will they pull through with it, or is this going to be something completely different than, you know, the initial gameplay loop? Who knows?
Also struggled to present fights with multiple foes accurately, and it can be easy to get overwhelmed by enemies coming in off screen.
Yeah, but see, she has an area. Like, I think they will all just have sort of things that help them with. Like, she had an area attack, which I guess is applicable in that situation. But I mean, it's Assassin's Creed, for fuck's sake. You could just, I mean, you can just run off, run away, try to find a better vantage point or a better area to attack from, or, you know, single out your opponents. I mean, I'm trying to think of mechanics that would actually be, or things you can do that would be interesting, as opposed to, I don't know, face tanking the enemy. I mean, I'm struggling, but I'm trying to figure out what you could do in order to avoid situations like that.
Still, when the new combat in Shadows hits, it certainly does hit. What impressed me most was the revamped stealth gameplay, which appropriately incorporates elements from Ubisoft's other stealth action series, Splinter Cell.
That should be all of them.
With the new visibility meter, you can see how open you are.
I need to slow down. Identify my target.
Furthermore, there's a greater emphasis on light and darkness. You can even snuff out candles to add some cover. My favorite addition is the ability to go prone, which, as you can expect, is a game changer for stealth.
So, being stealthy in a stealth game is innovative in a game, like, yeah. Yes. Yeah, I think that, yeah, I mean, you're right. It is. It definitely is. But these are things that have always existed in Assassin's Creed games. Like, this isn't new. This is like, yeah, obviously a stealth game's gonna have this. Like, you'd be an idiot not to have this in a stealth game.
Stealth with Naue was so satisfying, and it does well to showcase just how much that gameplay style has improved. While both characters can combat and stealth, they also have clear limitations. For instance, Yosuke is a formidable fighter and is capable of ambushing enemies. However, his large stature is not ideal for advanced stealth.
Be careful.
In addition to being incapable of climbing certain areas, he's also not great at performing the leap of faith.
It is harder than it looks.
As for Naue, she's a skilled assassin with access to a grappling hook and smoke bombs. However, her nimble combat style is far more reliant on parrying and dodging, and one hit from an elite enemy's heavy strike can take a chunk of her health bar. While pulling off Naue's combat skills was satisfying, I often had to resist the urge to take out every enemy and run for it when things got out of hand.
What the fuck? I thought the video switched to another. Like, what the hell is this? Is this base building?
Continuing with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you can manage and upgrade a base of operations. As you recruit allies, they'll head to your hideout to open up shops and offer new side missions that incentivize revisits to previous zones.
Okay, so they're adding base building in an Assassin's Creed game.
But Shadows takes this feature a step further by allowing you to build out your custom village in the vein of Animal Crossing.
But why? I mean, I guess it's an okay mechanic, but what does this have to do with Assassin's Creed? Like, is this like, what's the targeted demographic? Like, what do they want? Well, they want to be an assassin, and they want to know more about the history of Assassin's Creed.
The Town Builder mode offers plenty of options to add necessities and some personal touches to the hideout. I spent an unexpected amount of time building more housing and decorating my space with Shinto shrines and...
What does this have to do with Assassin's Creed? Like, we're reaching this apex in, like, how do I say, in like game development, where people are begging for less mechanics and less things. Like, please give us less than this. Like, we don't want this. Like, this doesn't add to the game. This is bloat. Like, this is where we're at in Assassin's Creed, and it is so odd that we're at this point. But we're at this point regardless. Like, again, what is your targeted demographic for this? Like, is it people who play Assassin's Creed, or like cozy gamers? Because I don't want cozy. Like, what's the opposite of cozy? Like, aggressive. I want aggressive games. Games that hate me. The games that want to see me my downfall. To see to my fucking downfall. Not shit like this. Like, not an Assassin's Creed. I mean, if I wanted this in a game, I'd play a game that has this shit. Like, again, a lot of games have like this, like, content bloat, I guess. And because of that, people are like, just please give us less. And it's things like this that increases the price of games. Then they demand you pay to make up for the price in games that's been artificially inflated because they wanted to add these things in your game that has absolutely nothing to do with Assassin's Creed. And they demand you pay to make up for that, for mechanics that they add that add nothing to the game. I mean, I shouldn't be this frustrated about this, but I am, because I know that, oh, because this is here, they've taken things away from other things that could have been in the game to make it more of an Assassin's Creed game. To add things like this, content like this, that adds nothing to the Assassin's Creed game. That's why I'm frustrated. That's why, again, that's why people are like, please just give us less. Like, again, I played a game called Blood West. In Blood West, it knows what it is, and it knows what it ain't. It ain't a base builder. Right? It ain't a cozy game. That game wants to kill you. It wants you to be frustrated. It is an aggressive game. And it doesn't add things to it that takes away from that experience. Like, every facet of the game is to make you hate the game.
Pets, such as cats and tanuki. There are also side activities, such as a visually striking meditation minigame to help you earn additional perks. It's an unexpected...
What the fuck? A meditation minigame? What the fuck?
cozy side activity for an AC game, and I was quickly taken in by how satisfying it was to walk around a massive village I had made in a reasonably short time. So far, Assassin's Creed Shadows is shaping up to be a solid follow-up to Ubisoft's ambitious Valhalla. Even if the familiar crop of open-world bugs and quirks popped up during my time, I still found a great deal to appreciate with Shadows and its world building. While this conceit is not an uncommon backdrop for video games, which can be easy to mess up with insensitive representation, Assassin's Creed Shadows so far does well to justify its take on an open-world RPG set during this culturally rich era, especially in its handling of the two protagonists.
Yeah, I mean, at least they at least they talked about the insensitive representation, which was an absolute fucking blunder. You know, the scale of which no one could even begin to quantify. I mean, between showing a broken Tory gate, which if you don't know what that is, it's a monument that portrays, you know, when we nuked Japan twice, Nagasaki and Hiroshima, and they tried to use that as promotional material, and the Japanese absolutely shat on them, like they whipped out their cocks and shat all over Ubisoft Online. And also, they tried to move back the game to like a day that marks a terrorist attack in Japan, like to release it on that day. And the fact that, you know, people are just shitting all over the reviews, saying how garbage they are. And how, I guess, whoever, and I don't believe they're doing this maliciously, right? I just think they're stupid. Like, I think whoever's, like, whoever's job it is to do, like, consulting, like, they did a bad job, you know, with cultural consulting. Like, maybe they had a particular ideology that disregards things like these and only really cared about certain other types of things. But that person should be fired because they did a bad job at what they were supposed to do.
With the release finally coming soon, I'm eager to see how Ubisoft's take on Assassin's Creed's journey to Japan will come together. For more on the latest upcoming games during this busy opening of 2025, check out our final preview of Civilization 7. And of course, for everything else in the world of video games, stick with IGN.
Like, people are, like, entire channels are propping up and becoming successful off the downfall of companies and their bad fucking products. And it's this way because people want to see these things. They want to, like, there's so much there's more enjoyment and more content in the shitting on Assassin's Creed than you'll ever get from actually playing the game. And it's just wild to think about that. It's like, people are going to be so sad when the game actually comes out. And then you realize, oh, I can't shit on it anymore. Because now the game's out. And I actually have to play the game now. Fuck. I ain't ever playing this fucking game. Like, why? Why? I would never make myself suffer playing this game. And it'll be weird. Again, I get it why streamers would play it. Like, there's just been so many fingers on the pulse of this game. But again, I don't care about this game at all. I mainly just care to shit on it because I know it's going to be bad. Let's look at the comments I probably curated. I've been training for many years to master my ultimate technique. The closed wallet! Oh my fucking god. The closed wallet jutsu. Oh my god, amazing. And again, they got rid of the dislikes, but you have 231,000 views and only 6K likes. And the top rated comment is them effectively saying, I ain't buying this shit. IGN loves Ubisoft ad money. Oh god, this guy's 1,000% paid off. Again, people don't understand, right? Like, they don't actually have to physically pay these people. Again, that, like, what access journalism is you get just perks from glazing products. You know, they don't have to pay them off. I mean, one, because it'll be illegal. Two, I mean, these companies, like, they tumble over themselves to try to get to please these companies for that access journalism. And it's so free. Like, if I was, again, overbloated AAA company, like, I'd have these motherfuckers on speed dial. Like, it'd be so fucking free. Not... What the fuck did I just do? Oh, yeah, I hit the desktop button. Not turning off comments, a bold move. Edit. To people who say it didn't matter or similar. It doesn't matter when it comes to casual people. They don't get involved in online discussion. They will watch a trailer, maybe review, and if they see a wall of negative comments, it definitely affects the decision. The same applies to Steam reviews and the fact that Steam review score is color coded. Everything on Steam page being blue and then having the negative score pop out in red. A AAA game with fancy graphics and minimum gameplay, and the majority of players are casual. The fact the Veilguard sold 1.5 million is a good indication. I mean, it still failed. Like, it sold a lot because, one, YouTube and other services did everything in their power to snipe negative review. They effectively astroturfed it, but even then, it failed to meet the expectations. You know, the cost of the game versus what they needed, how many sales they actually needed to break even. It was still a failure. Like, according to just the numbers and according to them. And they know it's a failure because, there's already articles blaming gamers for not playing their stupid fucking game. You know, that happens when they failed. And everyone knows they failed. They just can't agree that they failed. Oh, hey, someone actually did negative 5.9k likes, 22k dislikes. Yeah, I mean, if you have extensions, you can see this shit. IGN will give it a 7 out of 10. On God, they will. The San Francisco Asian Hate Crime Simulator. Honestly, this just felt like a 10-minute commercial. Rule 1, never trust IGN reviews. I mean, again, I don't care for their stupid fucking reviews. I just care for the information. But yeah, not turning off your comments is a very bold move. I'm pretty sure they'll use the comments against people and be like, oh, look at all these haters. These haters. It's like, why are you shilling for a multi-billion-dollar company? I don't get it. But anyway, that's all I gotta say about this. Peace.